Let's break down the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. First, let's set the stage here. The Baku City Circuit is one of the most unique tracks that we have, in my opinion. We have two DRS zones separated by these two sharp turns. And then you get a bunch of sharp twists and turns, and you finally ended out with a ridiculously long 2 kilometer straight on the main straight there. So all in all, 51 laps, 306 kilometers. 2022 podium, we had Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and George Russell. The record for the fastest lap belongs to Charles Leclerc on this track, on this circuit.
It's going to be nothing. It's going to be nothing in the next race.
Absolutely not. We'll see about that. We'll talk about our predictions later. But and 6 years here at Baku, 6 different winners. So this is a pretty unique track that we have here. You never really know what you're going to expect. And honestly, Baku is my personal favorite track of the year.
Okay.
This track just has a combination, like I said, all those twists and turns. And then, of course, you have the beautiful city that is Baku, those gorgeous shots. You couple that in with the racetrack itself, and you have, in my opinion, the best track of the year, personally. Are you as high on this track as me?
No, actually, I am. I really love this track. I actually didn't know the stat either about 6 different winners, but that's a stat that makes me really happy. That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, 6 different winners from 2 teams, Mercedes and Red Bull. But no, so we are both equally excited about this. I don't know how much of that excitement comes from having a 4-week long break in between races.
True. And
But
we do love street circuits.
And street circuits. Yep, we are like Sergio Perez. We just love these street circuits here. But no, 10 out of 10 as far as excitement for this race goes. Now, with the 4-week long break, it was an unexpected 4-week long break. We were supposed to have the Chinese Grand Prix in there, but that got canceled. So these teams were, I assume, working and trying to make any tweaks to these cars. Do you expect to see any sort of improvements out of any of these teams here?
I expect to see, honestly, I feel like the midfield is where we would actually see improvements. I would hope that Mercedes shows us something, but I think they still said that they were waiting for, I forget which race, but like down in June is when they were like, that's when our performance will turn around.
Yeah, 4 weeks is not enough to see any major upgrades to the cars. Yeah. Obviously, we might see some minor things here or there, but ultimately, I think the bigger changes are going to come later in the season. I just thought, with 4 weeks essentially to just focus in on these cars, we might get something. I don't know what exactly, but I expect some changes. So let's talk about these new sprint race rules that we have. The biggest one being that the sprint race this year will not impact the starting grid for the race on Sunday. This will be a standalone event that the FIA is trying to do here. And with that, qualifying for the sprint race will happen on Saturday, and qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix will happen on Friday. But no, so the general format is still the same for the sprint race. It's a shortened race. The points given out is also the same. You have Baku, which will be the first F1 sprint race to be held on a street circuit, which that alone has that's ruffled some feathers a little bit too. F2 actually held it last year. They had a sprint race at Baku, so it's not without precedent. They've seen it before, but the worry, of course, is that this is a crazy track, and having a sprint race here might lead to some damages and will affect the race on Sunday. So it's clear to all of us that the FIA is just going full send on these sprint races. We have 6 of them this year. Likely to have more. I honestly fully expect to at least be within 10 sprint races fairly soon in the future.
Okay.
But no, overall, what are your thoughts on sprint race rules and sprint races in general?
All right. I do like sprint races. I don't think we should be having, like, 10 does seem like, because I can see them trying it, but 10 seems like a lot. I think 6 is fine. It's a nice little treat for us every now and then. Because like just now thinking like let's go to the extreme. Like if they did a sprint race every weekend, that wouldn't be cool. That'd be a little lame. Just keep it a little. You just keep it as a little treat for us.
Um,
Um,
that's I mean, that would be nice. That's probably what some of these drivers prefer. I think it was Max Verstappen who absolutely does not like
yeah,
anything to do with these sprint races. I've heard George Russell say he's come around to them.
yeah.
And then with, I think we had Christian Horner recently come out and say it was ludicrous to hold the first sprint race at Baku, which he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am really excited for this sprint race at Baku. It sounds like it's going to be very chaotic, and I'm here for all of that. Can't just end it here. We got to give our predictions, of
Yeah.
course. Of course, we're going to do our podium prediction. Now, if the sprint race is a separate event, do we have to do a separate predictions for the sprint race itself?
I mean, if that's the case, sprint race, king of the streets,
Uh,
Checo baby.
you're going Checo P1 in the sprint race, huh?
Yeah,
Who do you have after him on that?
probably Max. I mean, yeah.
Fair,
If
fair.
we're going logically, then if Checo's one, Max is number two.
Yep. And that third
Um,
spot.
three. Give it to Alonso. Alonso.
Okay. Well, honestly, I didn't prepare for this, but yeah, let's see. For a sprint race, I'm gonna go with Max Verstappen
Hmm.
for P1.
Okay.
Safe
Okay.
bet.
King of the
Ride that
streets.
till
Hussein is
ride
right there.
ride that till the wheels fall off. P2 got Sergio, King of the Street Circuits, right right behind him, and then I'm gonna go with Lewis Hamilton for P3. Mercedes is starting to show us some things here that it looks sustainable, I'll say.
Okay.
But no, so that's the sprint race. For the actual race here, what do you got for your podium?
Uh, Max, Checo, and you know what? I didn't give third a lot of thought. You know what? Maybe I want a wild card up there. You know what? I do want a wild card. I want Yuki. I want Yuki as
Wow.
third place.
In 21, we got Sergio Perez, Sebastian Vettel, and Pierre Gasly in an AlphaTauri. So
Ooh,
I'm not saying
okay.
2021 was an insanely crazy year, but hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility. We might see Yuki at that podium.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then
but
he can shove it in DeVries' face.
I I guess you seem to have manufactured this rivalry between them. I don't know where it's come from, but I like it.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, for me, I'm gonna say Max Verstappen. I'm playing it safe.
Yeah.
Boring answer. Sergio Perez. He's a fan of these street circuits, and he's done pretty well on this circuit in the past. And behind him, I'm gonna go with Charles Leclerc.
Ooh,
I think
okay. Yeah.
like I said earlier, owns the record for the fastest lap, which doesn't mean very much, but he owns that record at this circuit. And
Yeah.
last year in qualifying, he actually qualified P1, and so I think
Oh, okay.
we might see we might see Charles Leclerc turn things around.
A good
People have
car.
started to sleep on him, and he has had some bad luck,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I don't know if people are sleeping on him as much as like it's the car, man.
look, it's
Heartbreaking.
I we talked about. Make sure to go check out our previous video in which we talk all about Ferrari. Nice
Yeah.
little plug there. Um, but no, so that's my predictions. Pretty far removed from our predictions for the drivers' championship, where you had Lando Norris and I had Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
We Max Verstappen quickly reminded us that we have no idea what we're talking about. Um, but no, we're both really excited for this race, obviously. And as a reminder for everybody, make sure to tune in next week where we break down the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, all of the craziness that is about to ensue. We will be here to give our reactions. So check out the Revved Up podcast wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe and like on YouTube.